Welcome friends to my YouTube channel. On my last lecture, I have completed the chapter collision theory. So with this chapter, I have almost finished the classical mechanics of first semester honors. Okay, in CBCS system. Now in my today's lecture, I shall going to start the GPM portion, the first chapter of GPM portion, that is elasticity. Elasticity. Now, how the concept of elasticity, what is elasticity, before knowing it, so we have to know few other things. That suppose there is an object, okay, suppose there is an object, and if we apply a external force on that object, then there will be a relative displacement occurs. Okay, a relative displacement occurs among its different part. So as a result, there is a change in size, shape, or volume. Okay, that is whenever we apply an external force to a body due to relative displacement, there a change occurs. That may be in size, that may be in shape, or that may be in volume. Okay, now at that particular moment, the internal forces or reaction forces comes into play that tries to bring the object into its original condition. Okay, that tries to bring the object into its original condition. Okay, so elasticity is simply the property by which you can say a body regains its original form after the removal of forces causing the deformation. That means if we remove this external force that causes the deformation, uh, then the body will be in its original position. Okay, so due to the external force, the deformation occurs, but if we remove the deformation force or external force, then obviously the body will tend to come to their original position. Okay, so elasticity is that property. Okay, so simply elasticity is the property by which an object or a body regains its original form, regains its original form after the removal of forces, after the removal of forces causing deformation on that object or the body. Okay, so due to the external force, the deformation takes place. So whenever we remove the external force, it's simply the body will tend to come to their original condition. Okay, so it is the property by which a body restore its original condition on removal of the deforming forces. So simply, so how we measure the elasticity? Okay, how we can know that which object has greater elasticity or less elasticity? Okay, that means this is the resistance on the deformation force. Okay, that means how much the reaction force, we can measure it by the reaction force. Okay, if the reaction force is greater, then the body will easily recover its original condition. That means the particular resistance offered to the external force, the object that can offer more resistance to the deforming force will have greater elasticity. Okay, will have greater elasticity. That means uh, that particular object that can offer more resistance to the deforming force will have greater elasticity. Okay, So the object that offers more resistance to the deforming force to the deforming force have greater elasticity. Greater elasticity. Okay. The object that can offer more hindrance to the deforming force will have greater elasticity, and the object that offers low hindrance to the deforming force can have lower elasticity. Okay. Now another term that we have to know, that is what is strain and what is stress. Okay. The second term that we must have to know, that is the strain. What is it? Now as I told earlier, whenever we apply an external force to a body, there is a relative displacement. Okay, there is a relative displacement occurs. Okay, so as a result there will be a change in size, or there will be a change in shape, or there will be a change in volume takes place. Okay, and the body is said to be under strain. That means due to the application of this external force, a relative displacement occurs, and due to which there will be a change in either size or shape or volume, and under this condition we can say that the body is under strain. So we can measure it. That means, just take an example. If we consider a wire of length L, so by keeping one end fixed, if we apply a force at the other end, then the wire must be elongate. Okay, so if we take a wire of length capital L, so by keeping one end fixed, if we apply a force at the other end, okay, then the wire must be elongate. So if you consider the elongation is simple small l, then what will be the longitudinal strain? We can measure the longitudinal strain as increase in length by original length. Okay, this is just an example. By taking a wire, one end is fixed and we apply force at the other end. Okay, so the wire should be elongated. So if the elongation is small l, then the longitudinal strain is the measure of increase in length per unit length. Okay, so both have the dimension of length, so it has no unit. It has no unit. Okay, so this is an example of strain. Now what is stress? The next thing that I have to tell, that is what is stress. Okay, whenever we apply an external force to a body that causes a deformation, at that particular moment internal forces comes into play, due to which the body tends to restore the original form. Okay, and that internal force will always acts in the opposite direction of the applied force that causes the deformation. Okay, so due to this internal force, the body tends to restore the original condition. Okay, so this restoring force per unit area is called stress. Okay, so this restoring force, remember one thing, that stress is the restoring force, not the applied force. Restoring force per unit area, due to which the body tends to restore the original condition. Okay, so this restoring force per unit area is called stress. So simply it has the unit of Newton per meter square. Okay, Newton per meter square. Okay, so this is the stress. Now one thing is that strain is responsible for stress. That means when a body is under strain, then internal forces comes into play, due to which the body tends to restore the original condition. So stress is developed due to the strain. That means strain is the cause due to which stress is developed. Stress is produced. So it is the main quantity, strain. Okay, due to strain, stress is produced. Okay, so that's why it is the main quantity. Strain is the cause due to which stress is produced. Okay, at first strain has to generate. If strain is not generated, stress will be not produced, because it is the reaction force per unit area, or the restoring force per unit area. Okay, so in our today's lecture, I shall discuss few important terms related to elasticity. Now on my next lecture, I shall going to discuss few other important terms related to elasticity, that is perfectly elastic body, rigid body, this. Okay. So if you don't subscribe my channel, then kindly subscribe it to get latest videos. Okay. Thank you.